हो गया लाइव यूट्यूब ओपन कर नहीं वो वाला है हाँ ये वाला। आवाज फुल है
हेलो
रुकते हैं 30 सेकंड के लिए रुकते हैं
हो गया
हेलो हेलो
स्क्रीन शेयर करके देखिए स्क्रीन शेयर करके देखिए स्क्रीन शेयर करके
हेलो हेलो
बारी स्क्रीन शेयर करके
हेलो बस
हेलो रिपीट हो रहा है या हेलो हेलो या फाइन Okay, so as we are discussing about the Radiant IT services, right? What Radiant is? Okay, so shall we start initial? Right? Just 2 minutes, okay? Okay, so let's begin. Right? So who are new right now in this Radiant? Okay, we are discussing about them. Who are older one, they already know what Radiant IT services is, right? So Radiant IT services is we have shared or we have scheduled this workshop for you all, right? But before that, starting with them, we will go ahead with the introduction, right? So what Radiant is? So Radiant is actually a IT training. It's an IT company. Okay, so we have a development software development as well as web development in this our office. Okay, and even a digital marketing as well, right? And before as we start as an career or the path for development, right? So as we are doing a development with that, we got some conclusion or we got some loopholes about the our freshers. Okay, we have hired some freshers who are about to start the development in project, but they are very weak in a technical. Okay, so what happens, they are trying to give their 100%, but as they are not aware with the exact what they have to do in that project or how they need to develop it, right? Because I can train them about the project or I can give them a brief introduction about the project, but at the end, coding they have to do at their own, right? So as we found many cases in this way, like they are not able to explain their self, right? Or they are not able to explain technical things properly. They are not executing their task properly just because having a lagging in technical coding, right? So what we have started, what we have decided, let's start helping our students, let's start helping our freshers, that we can provide you a training in technical domain, right? So that's why we have started as a training and placement firm where we are providing a technical training with 100% placement or placement assurance, right? So what are our commitments are, right? So excellent in education, like we are providing you a technical training, right, which you have to implement in real time project, right? Expert guidance, that is we have our trainer developers who are giving this training. Okay, they are not a trainer. So what will happen if they are a trainer, then they don't have an hands on experience on project, live project, right? But I am giving you a developer who are providing you a training in the form of technical analysis and technical development. So they are already expert, having an deep knowledge about the project, right? Deep knowledge about the project development, and they have already experienced the live example of their live project, right? So they can train you, they can guide you as proper way in that to the career path, right? As well as for your final year project. Then practical learning, if you are thinking about the practical learning, then what will be the practical training or practical learning? So whenever you are starting with your training, you are getting a real time project. So that will be your practical. You are getting an assignments, you are getting a task which are actually we need to implement in our real time project, right? And then placement guarantee or placement assistance, right? Like as usual, you all know that we have some projects, so we can line up you in our project also, as well as we are connected with more than almost 200 companies, right? So they also need some freshers continuously, so we are supporting them also by training you and to uh, reach out to that to our client, and we are sharing your profile with them, and you can get a place in other companies as well, like, and continuous support, like as you are working in that company, like our client company, still we are there to connect you, to support you, whatever the difficulties you are facing, that we are guiding you how for that process, right? So this is our commitment which we generally use, right? But why to choose us? Like you will say, sir, there are many industries who are providing a training, right? But they are providing only a training, right? Here what we are doing, we are starting with your training, we are starting with your sessions. With that, we are providing you a task. The task will be from real time projects, because those tasks we are submitting to our client also, as well as to our in-house development as well, right? So that's why we are providing you personalized training or personalized learning with strong industry connections, right? Because initially what you have to do, you have to learn, you have to execute, and then you have to go ahead with our client side also, and you will get a real time project in that, and you can go ahead for your job markets, right? So here what will happen, you have learned the things which you are not aware about it, like any technical technology, right? Then you are doing a project in it, or you are going to have a good assessment in it, and you are executing those all the assessment, all the project level guidance, project level task which you are going to develop here, that will be submitting, or that will be helpful for you to add on to your resume, as well as to add on for your company development. Okay, so wherever you will start your market standard, with market standard, right? Wherever you will start with any of the company, you will start developing a project directly. Like, just you need to get some basic information about the project, and you will go ahead, right? So this is what the best example which we have, that we have many students who are currently having a hands-on experience in a real-time project. Okay, so we have our own project, have our clients who have their own requirements, and we are fulfilling them, right? They are sharing their task with us, and we are completing those tasks with our students, so they can also learn a real-time project, and we can also serve our client. So this is like a win-win situation, right? Where you are getting a technically strong experience, and the job opportunities in different client side, which we have more than almost 200, right? So in which domain we are good, or which domain you can search out for development. So there are many courses which we have, that is a Salesforce, digital marketing, data science, web development, full stack Java or full stack development in Java or Python, Power BI, SAP HANA, AWS, software testing, and many more. Those are some basic which we have mentioned. But the current market trends, which as they are going, like data science, data analytics, right? Full stack Java development, full stack Python development, in with the web development, basic web development, those all are currently we have, right? So what will be the process for it, or how you are saying, or how I am saying that, okay, so as you will connect with the Radiant, you will get a placement surely, because we have a hands-on training, like we are providing a training through our developer, right? So the our developer is going to teach you deep down as per real-time project. Okay, then you are doing a regular assessment as your task, which is connected with the real-time project, that is your skill development, right? Then we are preparing you for the job interviews, like we are taking your mocks, we are taking your uh, other activities which needs in your job interviews, right? So as you are trained and hands-on experience with it, yes, you are going to place in different companies which are connected with us, right? So this is it from yeah, introduction for you all in Radiant IT, right? So our today's developer, she is a Monica ma'am. Okay, she is going to take your today's session. So, okay, so we will, what we will do, we will start with her, and I would like to request Monica ma'am, please come up and start with our technical session, right? Now we are starting with the technical session. So all the best, do focus and learn everything. Okay, just a minute.
So yes, So, am I audible, everyone? Am I audible? Okay. So, yes. Okay. Yes, Shubham. Okay. Yes, Samruddhi. So, today we are going to see the two topics of a technical, that is the data structure and algorithms, and second one is the MySQL. Okay. So, first of all, we will start with the data structures. So, I have shared my screen. So, let me know screen visible, everyone online. Everyone's screen visible? Okay. So, yes. So first of all, we see what is exactly the data structure and algorithm. Okay, so see, as all of you know that data structure is a representation of a logical relationship which exists between the individual element of data. What exactly does it mean? Data structure. तो उसके name में ही है कि what exactly it represents. So data is everywhere we are going to use in a project and उस डेटा को स्ट्रक्चराइज करना इसे हम बोलते हैं डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. So basically this represents a logical relationship between the element and the data. ये एक relationship represent करता है हर एक data में और element में. There are multiple relationships available in the data structure by using which we can connect the different data to your particular elements. So in other words, we can say that it is of organizing all the data atom that are considered not only the element but also their relationship with each other. Okay, so what is the main task in a data structure? See, each and every application, each and every website or each and every business have a data. Okay, so everything revolves around this data. So because of that, data is the key point, or we can say we must have to concentrate on the data of for each and everything. Like we are concentrating on the website, or if you are considering a particular application, so everywhere data is very important part. सो इस डेटा को ऑर्गेनाइज करना ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट होता है क्योंकि देखो सी सपोज I have so many clothes in my cupboard. Okay, so all of that particular things are not organized. I have just put it over and here and there. Okay, so if I want to search any particular thing, is it possible easily? Obviously not. Okay, same like that. You have a lots of data. For example, if you're working on any particular website which is an e-commerce website, and all of you know that in an e-commerce website we have so many things, like we have a particular elements, or we can have a particular items related to the clothes, we have a particular items related to the laptops, related to gadgets, or we can also have a particular items related to our daily life routine. Okay, so if we are not organizing this data properly, then what will happen? If I want to search for my Lenovo laptop, then it will be difficult for me. Okay, so and because of this main reason, we must have to organize our data, and this particular data should have a relationship between them. Okay, हर एक डेटा का रिलेशनशिप होना भी उतना ही जरूरी है. ओके, एंड दैट्स व्हाई टू ऑर्गेनाइज दिस थिंग्स एंड टू मेक दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग्स वी आर गोइंग टू यूज द कंसेप्ट दैट इज द डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, और ये जो डेटा स्ट्रक्चर है इसे परफॉर्म करने के लिए हम कुछ अल्गोरिदम्स यूज करते हैं. दैट्स व्हाई वी से दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक एज अ डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स एंड अल्गोरिदम. Lots of algorithm are helping us to organize this data, to retrieve that data, to store that data, and because of this reason only we call this as a data structures and algorithm. So, data structure affects the design of both structural and functional aspect of the program. Okay, जो data structure होता है वो दोनों चीजों को affect करता है. आपके structure को भी affect करता है and it is also affecting the functional aspect. So, how the structural effect? Okay, so see, if we are not structuring in a proper way, for example the main category, suppose we are considering about the laptops. Okay, so the main category is what? It's the electronic gadgets. Okay, under this electronic gadget we have the second section, that is the computers and laptops. Okay, so inside this laptop we again have a subcategories. Okay, we have a lots of companies of the laptops. So suppose we have a Lenovo, we have a Dell, we have a HP, lots of there. Okay, this will be the next structure. Inside this Lenovo laptop we also have so many options, like depend on their particular screen sizes, we can say, depend on their prices, depend on their models. Okay, so this is the structure. Okay, so ये स्ट्रक्चर क्रिएट करने के लिए हम क्या यूज करते हैं, डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. ओके, एंड इट विल अफेक्ट टू योर पर्टिकुलर स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द पर्टिकुलर डेटा. एंड फंक्शनल एस्पेक्ट मीन्स व्हाट, each and every data represents something, or each and every data is very useful for our execution. Okay, so when we structurize this particular data in a proper way, it will give us a proper functionality. For example, if we want to add a new data, if we want to remove some data, if we want to make an updation in that particular data, all these are the functional aspect, and that will be totally depend on your structure of the data. Okay, so that's why we can say that a program is a combination of algorithm plus its data structure. Because if you have an application but if you don't have a data, then it doesn't work or it doesn't make any sense. Okay, because of that only we must have to combine, or we must have to combine these two particular things, that is the algorithm and data structure, to make your program stronger. ओके इसीलिए हमें जब भी हम कोई वर्क करते हैं, जैसे कि कुछ भी हम प्रोजेक्ट क्रिएट करते हैं, along with its development we must also have to concentrate on the data structure of that particular data. Okay, and all of you know that algorithm तो आपने सीखा, ये algorithm is what, it's a particular step by step procedure to how to solve that problem or how to execute that particular functionality. Okay, so we know that we are using program, in a program we are using algorithms, along with that we can also use the flow chart. Okay, so flow chart is the pictorial representation, whereas this algorithm is what, algorithm is basically a particular data where we can represent this particular things. Okay, so now we understand the classification of the data structure. ये जो data structure है ये mainly divide होता है two parts में. So there are basically two broad categories of this data structure. So which are they? First is the primitive data structure, and second one is the non-primitive data structure. So the main category of a data structure are two, that is primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Okay, so primitive data structure means what, here all the data types or data comes which are already predefined. For example, now all of you know that there are so many data types that we are going to use in a program, like we are using integer, we are using float, character, string. So all these are primitive data types, and in a primitive data structure we are handling the data with the help of this primitive data types. Second category is a non-primitive data structure. So what is the non-primitive data structure? In this particular data structure, these particular data types are not predefined. We have to create it, we have to build it. Okay, हमें उनको create करना पड़ता है, हमें उनको build करना पड़ता है. ठीक है, so we can see that first of all we concentrate on the primitive data structure. So see, primitive data structure we have a broad categories or different categories, like we have a integer, float, character, pointer, or we can also say we also have a string, double. Okay, ये जो data type है, this all comes under the primitive data structure. Then along with this we also have a second one, that is the non-primitive data structure. So what is the non-primitive data structure? So under the non-primitive data structure, it will comes like a graph, streaks, queues, stack. Okay, all these things are the non-linear, or we can say a non-primitive data structure. Okay, so in a non-primitive data structure there are two types, like linear and non-linear. So in a linear we can categorize these things as a array, linked list, stack, queue, and in a non-linear data structure we have a categories like a graph, trees. Okay, so these are the main categories of the data structure, primitive and non-primitive. Under primitive, all the data types are already predefined, like integer, float, character, pointer, string. And in a non-primitive, these data types are not fixed, like we have to generate it. So in a non-primitive, we again have a two categories, linear list and non-linear list. So here we have a like array, linked list, stack, queue in a linear one, and in a non-linear the categories will be like trees and graphs. So this is the main categorization of your particular data structure. Okay, so first of all we will concentrate on a primitive data structure. Obviously, see, there is a difference between primitive and non-primitive. What is that, we will see further. First we see what exactly is the primitive data structure. So basically, these are the basic structures which are directly operated upon by the machine instructions. So here there are different representations on the different computers. Like we have an integer, float, character, then string, pointers. All this are comes under the primitive data structure. So in a primitive data structure, we are using predefined data types like this. So integer, float, char. So all of you know that कि integer, float ये जो data types होते हैं, so its के sizes जो होते हैं, they will change. Okay, so they vary from your configuration to configuration. So if you have a 32-bit operating system, then char will occupy 1 byte, whereas an integer will occupy 2 byte. But same here, if you are using a 64-bit operating system, then for that particular thing, character will occupy 2 byte and integer will occupy 4 byte. So it will vary, its sizes may vary depending on the operating system. Okay, but yes, it is fixed. Like for 32-bit, you have a 2 byte for the integer. For 64-bit, you have a 4 byte for this particular integer, but not more than that. This is the only thing. Okay, then non-primitive data structure. So non-primitive data structure, we can say this as a particular non-declared data structure. Okay, so we have not mentioned this particular data structure. So there are more sophisticated data structure, that is these are derived from the primitive data structure, but they have their own existence, they have their own particular representation. Okay, so these are the different data structure which are available, and by using this particular thing, we are getting more flexibility to handle the data, more flexibility to work with the data. Okay, so in a non-primitive data structure, what comes, so it will having a different data structures like list, stack, queue, tree, graph. Okay, so these are the different non-primitive data structure which are available. So what operations we can perform? Remember this thing. With the help of primitive data structure, we can perform limited amount of operations, or there is some restrictions to handle the data, to perform operations on the data. But if you're considering or if you're concentrating on the non-primitive data structure, then here the most commonly used data structure have a different type of execution. Like so many things we can achieve, so many things we can perform with the help of this non-primitive data structure. Like we can create a database, we can perform the selection operation, like data retrieve करना जिसे हम बोलते हैं selection operation. Then we can update the data, we can search that particular data, means whatever database we have, we can search for particular field. Like if I want a employee whose salary is greater than 50,000, so I can apply such kind of a searches, such a kind of a filtration on data. Then we can also do the sorting on that data, we can also perform a merging of the data, we can destroy data, we can delete data. Okay, so like this different operations we can perform on this non-primitive data structure. And because of this only, in a data structure, we are going to concentrate on this kind of things like graph trees, then we have a stack queue. Okay, why? Because they are flexible, and with the help of these data structures, we can handle our data very perfectly and very flexibly. Next, that is difference क्या है देखो, the main difference between the primitive and non-primitive data structure. So a primitive data structure is generally a basic data structure that is usually built into a language such as the integer and float, whereas a non-primitive data structure is built on a particular primitive data structure which are linked together in a meaningful way, such as a linked list, binary search, AVL tree, graph, etc. Okay, so primitive data structures are already predefined, whereas non-primitive data structures are not defined. They are built on this particular primitive data structure. Primitive data structure have a fixed sizes, but non-primitive data structure does not have any fixed sizes. You can grow its size, or you can add any kind of elements into this particular thing. Primitive data structure, in a primitive data structure, we have a limitations to perform the operations. Okay, so we cannot perform so many operations with the help of primitive data structure. But whereas if you are considering for the non-primitive data structure, then we can perform a multiple task, multiple operations with the help of non-primitive data structure. Now next we consider, that is what exactly is the array. So see, why we are using array? Array is also a data structure. So see, array is what? If we want to store multiple element of a same type, for example, I'm creating an array of an integer. Okay, so suppose I want to store an integer element, that is the size of the integer element is 10, means I want to store a 10 integer element. So what happened if we are using a variable over here for storing the 10 integer element? I need a 10 variable. okay, which is the tedious problem because उन variable को हमें declare करना पड़ता है, then put the value into it, after that access that value. Okay, so this is a hectic thing. So to remove this hectic thing, we are using the array. So with the help of array, we can store a same type of a data into a single variable, and that is the main advantage of a array. Okay, the array elements are stored in a contiguous memory location, means one after one they are going to store in a one place only. Okay, the index of the array always start with the 0 and it is less than 1, means if my size is 10, then it will start from 0 up to 9. Second important thing is that array have a limited size, means its size is fixed. Means if while creating the array, if we are mentioning the size of the array as a 10, then we only add the 10 element into that array. We cannot add 11th or 12th element into that array because its size is fixed. Okay, okay, it's a finite. In short, we can say it's a finite. Okay, we cannot grow its size on runtime, or we cannot grow its size at the time of execution. So this is the main drawback of the array. Okay, so this is how we can declare an array. Like first of all, we have to mention the data type, the name of the array, and its size. So as you know that if I'm mentioning the data type as a int, then all the element in that particular array should be integer only. Okay. Second thing is what? If I am mentioning its size is 10, then I can only add 10 element into that particular array. More than 10 element is not allowed. Yes, less than 10 element you can add. Okay, if you want to add 5 element, if you want to add a 7 element, then it is allowed. But more than 10 element is not allowed in the array. Okay, so like this, where you going to use this particular array. Now, next is what? This is the simple example of the array. We can say, for example, we have a for loop. We start with the 0. We will go up to 9. Okay, so see, what is the loop? For I equal to 0, I is less than or equal to 9. Each time we are incrementing the value of I. So we start with the 0. We end up to 9, means total 10 element. Each time we must have to go further, we must have to move further. That's why we are incrementing the value of I each and every time. Okay, and whatever value we have according to the index, we are going to print over here. Okay, so here we are going to do the scanf. Scanf means storing the data. This is for the reading purpose. If you want to write the array into the particular array, or if you want to print that particular array element, then we can use the printf statement. Okay, and loop will be same. So remember this, whenever you are using array, you must have to use the loops. Okay, so array के साथ हम हमेशा क्या use करते हैं? Loop use करते हैं. And most commonly with the array we are going to use a for loop. Now next, that is the array. So here if you are reading or writing into a two-dimensional array, it will be require two loop. Okay, obviously array are of a different sizes and array of a different dimension. सो देखो, array में different different types होते हैं. So we can say that there is a 1D array, 2D array. So 1D, D means what? It's a dimension. 1D array only represents the row, whereas 2D array represents the row and column. Okay, so if you want to present, or if you want to represent any particular matrix, then you must have to use the 2D array. Okay, and this particular 2D array will work with the help of for loops. Okay, so if you're using a 1D array, then there will be one for loop you have to use. And if you want to work with the 2D array, then you have to use the two for loop. One for the row, second for the column. Okay. So the common operations that we can perform on the array are what? Creation of the array. We can create array. We can traverse array. What is the traversing exactly? So whenever we are creating any array, to perform the operation, we must have to traverse it. सो ट्रैवर्स करना मतलब क्या होता है? उसके हर एक एलिमेंट को अकॉर्डिंग टू द इंडेक्स बेसिस विजिट करना, और विजिट करने के बाद वहां पे कुछ भी ऑपरेशन हम परफॉर्म कर सकते हैं. लाइक वी कैन access the data, we can print the data, we can perform multiplication in that particular thing, we can perform addition, whatever operation you want to perform, you can perform that. Then we can also do the insertion of a new element. We can add multiple element into the array. We can also perform deletion of the required element. If you want to delete any element, you can do that particular operation by using deletion. You can also modify the data, or you can also update the data into that element array, and you can also merge the array. So if you have a two or more than two arrays, then you can also add this array, or you can also merge this array to create a new array, to generate a new array. Okay, so like this we can perform multiple operations in this on this particular array. ऐसे हम array पे अलग अलग operations perform कर सकते हैं. Next data structure we have in a DS, that is the list. Okay, so list is very commonly used data structure and it is very helpful for us. So a list, that is the linear linked list, can be defined as a collection of variable number of a data items. Okay, so list means what? So in a daily life we are creating a list of everything, like we are creating a list of a subjects, we are creating a list of a task, we can create a list of assignments. Okay, so list क्या होता है? ये एक collection है जिसमें हम अलग अलग नंबर के डेटा जो है वो ऐड कर सकते हैं. लाइक सम लिस्ट हैव अ 10 एलिमेंट्स, सम लिस्ट में हैव अ 20 एलिमेंट्स, सम लिस्ट में हैव अ 1000 एलिमेंट, लाइक दैट. Lists are the most commonly used non-primitive data structure. So it's a common data structure which is a non-primitive one. Okay, list will comes under the non-primitive data structure. Okay, so the element of the list must contain at least two fields. That is, one is for storing the data or information, and another is for storing the address of the next element. So list will comes in a two part. Okay, data. So वहाँ पे देखो square box होता है और वहाँ पे दो part होते हैं, data and next list का address. Okay, so here, as of all of you know that for storing address we have a special data structure of the list. The address must be a pointer type. Okay, so like in a pointer type we can add this particular list. Okay, so we can see that in a particular list we have a two types. That is, we have a first, see, list have a head and tail. Okay, so in a head we have a two parts. Here this is the list, so list will represent the two part where this will be the information, second will be the नेक्स्ट एड्रेस और नेक्स्ट पर्टिकुलर एलिमेंट्स एड्रेस. नेक्स्ट लिस्ट में जो भी एलिमेंट है उसका एड्रेस है, यहाँ पे हम सेकंड पॉइंट में या फिर सेकंड पार्ट में स्टोर करते हैं. एंड दिस विल बी योर पॉइंटर फील्ड. ये होता है हमारा पॉइंटर फील्ड. So there are multiple types of a list which are available. That is a single linked list, doubly linked list, single circular linked list, doubly circular linked list. Okay. So singly linked list, when we have one particular head and then tail. In a doubly linked list, from both the sides we can perform this particular things. Circular means in a circular format we can perform the operation. So in a circular we have a two types: single circular linked list and doubly circular linked list. Okay, so these are the types that we must have to learn further in a depth. Okay, ये just अभी हम ये particular concept type से अभी हम देख रहे हैं. So next data structure we have, that is the stack. So stack is what? Stack is also an ordered collection of an element like an array, but it has some special features like deletion, insertion of the element, which can be done only from one end, which is called as the top of the stack. So see, in a stack, we follow the LIFO structure. LIFO means what? Last in, first out. So in a stack, there is a one particular box where one end is closed. Okay, so stack में एक जो end होता है वो close होता है. So because of that, we can perform the operation only from the another end, which we call it as a top. So from top you can enter the element and from top only you can remove the element. So जो element last में add हुआ है वही element first में out होगा. That's why इसे हम बोलते हैं LIFO structure. That is the last in first out structure. So here it could be like through of just a particular stack of plates were placed on the table in the party. So guest always take off the fresh plate from the top and the new plate are placed on the stack of the top. Okay, so it is like whenever you are going for any particular party, obviously you have a lunch or you have a dinner over there. Okay, so in that buffet you know that there are a particular huge plates are placed over there. Okay, on a table. Okay, so table पे बहुत सारे plates जो है वो रखे हुए होते हैं. So at that particular time you observe that कभी भी हम plate उठाते हैं तो हम बीच का plate उठाते हैं? Obviously not. What we do, we pick up top plate. Okay, जब भी हम वहां पे plate remove करते हैं या फिर हम plate pick up करते हैं तो वो कहाँ से करते हैं? टॉप का प्लेट जो है वो हम पिकअप करते हैं. ओके, और वहां पे अगर रिफिलिंग करना है उन पर्टिकुलर प्लेट्स का, तो जो भी वो केटरर है वो क्या करते हैं, नए प्लेट्स उसी जो टॉप है उसी के ऊपर नए प्लेट्स ऐड करते हैं. वो नीचे या बीच में कभी करते हैं क्या? नहीं. सेम लाइक दैट स्टैक विल वर्क. ओके, सो इन अ स्टैक वन एंड इज closed and from the top only we can insert the data and we can delete the data. So stack is also a non-primitive data structure where we can perform operations like insertion and removal from the top of the stack. Okay, stack के top से ही ये दोनों operation जो है वो perform किए जाते हैं. So the insertion of an element into stack will be done by the push and deletion of the element of the stack will be done by the pop. Okay, so we can push the element. Push means adding the element, and pop means removing the element. Okay, so this is how we can do. See, this is the particular area, and one end is the closed and another end, one end is only open. So one end is closed, another end is open. So through this particular top we can push the element and we can pop the element. Push means what? Adding a new element. Pop means removing the element. Okay, so like this stack will work. Stack can be implemented by using two ways. Okay, stack हम implement कर सकते हैं दो ways से. So the two ways to perform the stack are what? First, by using array, which we call it as a static implementation, and second one is by using pointer, that we call it as a dynamic implementation. So by using these two ways we can implement the stack. Next data structure we have, that is the queue. So queue is same like a stack, but it is having another data structure, that is it follows the FIFO data structure. So what is FIFO? FIFO means what? First in, first out. So here in a queue both the end are open. Okay, queue में जो दोनों end होते हैं वो दोनों open होते हैं. So एक end से data enter होगा और दूसरी end से data जो है वो remove होगा. So in a queue, new element added to the queue from one end called rear end, and the element are always removed from the another end, that we call it as a front end. Okay, जब भी हमें कोई नया element add करना है तो हम rear end से उसे add करते हैं, और जब भी हमें कोई भी एलिमेंट रिमूव करना है तो हम उसे फ्रंट एलिमेंट से या फिर फ्रंट एरिया से उसे हम रिमूव करते हैं. So we can say that people standing in a railway station reservation row are example of the queue, or we can say a bus. Okay, bus is also a best example of a queue. So you know that bus have a two doors. Okay, front door and back door. So the authority is that what, कि बैक एंड से या फिर बैक डोर से हम एंटर कर सकते हैं, हम उस बस में वहां पे एंटर कर सकते हैं, and we can go out of the bus through the front door. Okay, front door से हम क्या करते हैं, उस बस से उतर जाते हैं. ठीक है, so like this queue will work. So both the ends are open, so from one end we will enter into the particular and from another end we will remove from the queue. Okay, so we can say that this is the front and this is the rear. Okay, so from rear end we are going to inserting the element, and from front end we are going to remove the element. Okay, so each new person comes and stand at the end of the row, and person getting their reservation confirm get out of that row from the front. Okay, जैसे कि बस का मैंने एग्जांपल दिया. सो यहाँ से जो पीपल है वो यहाँ पे एंटर करेंगे बस में, उनको जहाँ पे प्लेस मिलेगी दे विल सिट, एंड व्हेन दे वांट टू गो आउट ऑफ दैट बस दे आर गोइंग फ्रॉम द फ्रंट एंड. ओके, सो लाइक दिस क्यू विल वर्क. So queue also can be implemented by using two ways. Queue भी हम दो ways से implement कर सकते हैं. First is by using arrays, that is a static implementation, and second is by using pointer, that we call it as a dynamic implementation. Okay, so there are two ways to implement the queue: static implementation, dynamic implementation. Static means by using array, and dynamic means by using pointer. Next data structure we are going to see, that is the trees. Okay, so what is trees? Trees can be defined as a finite set of a data items, that we call it as nodes. ट्री में बहुत सारे नोड्स होते हैं, बट these are the finite nodes. Okay, मतलब limited amount of nodes there are. Okay, so here the main node is a root node. Okay, so ट्री में कैसे होता है, मेन थिंग रूट एंड देन इसके ब्रांचेस होते हैं. सेम लाइक दैट यहाँ पे ट्री स्ट्रक्चर जो है वो क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. Tree is a nonlinear type of a data structure in which data atoms are arranged or stored in a sorted sequence. Okay, tree एक ऐसा nonlinear data structure है जिसमें कि जो data है वो sorted order में store होता है. Tree represents the hierarchical relationship between the various elements. Okay, so it basically represents the relationship between the elements. So here trees can be like these are the atoms which are on the top of the hierarchy, and the main element of this tree is a root element. Then after that we have a sub branching, that is we have a sub parents, then we have a particular childs of that particular root node. Okay, ऐसे वो grow होता है. Okay, so this is the tree structure. We can say that A is the root, so this is the parent root. Then we have a two childs, that is the B and C. So B and C are the child of the root A node. Then here for the B node we again have a two child, that is D and E are the child of the root node B. Okay, so B is the particular parent for this D and E, and here F and G is the root for the root node C. ओके सो लाइक दिस वी हैव अ स्ट्रक्चर. ऐसे बहुत सारे ब्रांचेस हम यहाँ पे इंक्रीज कर सकते हैं लाइक अकॉर्डिंग टू योर कन्वीनियंस. Next we have that is the graph. So what is graph? Graph is a mathematical non-linear data structure which is capable of representing many kind of a physical structure. Okay, so इससे हम बहुत सारा physical structure जो है वो represent कर सकते हैं. ये एक normal एक हम बोल सकते हैं mathematical data structure है. Maths में भी आपने graph सीखा होगा. So it has a found application in geography, chemistry, engineering, science. बहुत सारी जगह पे हम graphs use कर सकते हैं. सो जैसे कि हम ग्राफ कैसे क्रिएट करते हैं देखो. सो इट्स अ डेफिनेशन इज लाइक अ ग्राफ इज जी ऑफ वी ई. ओके सो वेयर वी आर द वर्टाइसेस एंड ई आर द एडजेस. ओके ऐसे हम ग्राफ जो है वो क्रिएट करते हैं. Next we have that is edge connect a pair of vertices and many have a weight such as a length, cost and another measuring instrument for according to the graph. Okay, so here you can see that these are the particular representation of the graph. So there are two types of graphs we can use, directed or we can also say a directed and weighted graph. यहाँ पे direction भी है और weight भी है. And this is the undirected graph. There is no any direction, no any weight. This is the undirected graph. This is the directed graph with the weight. Okay, so here you can see that here from v1 is the vertices and this is the edge. So from v1 we are going to the v2, from v2 we are going to the v5, from v5 to v4, v3 and from v3 to v2. Okay, so and these 10, 8, 15, 6, 9, 11, these are the weight of this particular graph. Okay, so like this we are using this particular graph. ऐसे हम क्या कर सकते हैं, graphs use कर सकते हैं. So here these are the particular data structure we have. So there are multiple types of graphs like directed graph, undirected graph, simple, weighted, connected, not connected graph. बहुत सारे types होते हैं graph के. Okay, so these are the different data structures that we are going to use in the DSA, that is in a data structure and algorithm. And with the help of these particular data structures and by using different kind of algorithm, we can manage our data very perfectly. Okay, so this is about the particular DSA. Now next we will move further for the SQL. सो अभी देखो, डेटा स्ट्रक्चर का काम है कि उस पर्टिकुलर डेटा को स्ट्रक्चराइज करना. पर डेटा स्टोर करने के लिए हम जो लैंग्वेज यूज करते हैं दैट इज व्हाट, दैट इज द एसक्यूएल. सो वी कॉल दिस एसक्यूएल एज अ स्ट्रक्चर्ड क्वेरी लैंग्वेज. Okay, so what is structured query language? So here structured query language is what, it's a ANSI standard language for defining and manipulation of the relational database. Okay, so structured query language जो है वो relational database को follow करता है. It follows the relational database and here it maintains the data, it creates the data, manipulates the data and it also maintains the relationship between them. So here you can see that there are two types in a particular SQL statements, that is the DDL and DML. So here we have a specifically DDL commands and we have a specifically DML commands. So DDL means what? It includes a data definition language statement that specifies and modifies the data schema. ओके सो देखो, अगर आपको डेटाबेस क्रिएट करना है तो उसके लिए आपको डीडीएल लैंग्वेज यूज करनी है. सो डीडीएल मतलब डेटा डेफिनेशन लैंग्वेज में बहुत सारे क्वेरीज है जिनका यूज करके हम डेटा क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. Along with that, we also have a DML, that is the data manipulation language. This means what? If you want to manipulate any kind of a data, if you want to modify any data, then you must have to use the DML. So in a DDL command, we have a different commands like create table, alter table और drop table. Okay, so यहाँ पे DDL command में हम अलग अलग table के command use कर सकते हैं. जैसे कि टेबल को क्रिएट करना, उसके लिए हम क्रिएट टेबल यूज कर सकते हैं. टेबल को हमें मॉडिफाई करना है, कुछ चेंजेस हमें करने हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल जैसे कि मैंने एक एम्प्लॉय का टेबल बनाया. इस एम्प्लॉय के टेबल में मैंने जो एक रीना नाम की लड़की है, देयर इज वन एम्प्लॉय हुज नेम इज रीना. सो उसका एड्रेस मैंने लिखा था पुणे, but actually it was wrong and actually it is a Mumbai. So what I have to do, instead of deleting the whole data, what I'll do, I just update. Okay, so वहां पे मैं alter करूंगी. ठीक है, so वहां पे अगर आपको कुछ भी modifications करना है, then you can alter the table. And drop the table means what, if you don't require that table anymore, then you can drop that table. But remember this thing, if you drop the table, then along with that, all the data which were added in that table will also get deleted, and it is permanently deleted. We cannot recover the drop table. Okay, अगर आपने एक बार टेबल ड्रॉप किया तो वो जो टेबल है वो परमानेंटली डिलीट हो जाता है, उससे हम रिकवर नहीं कर सकते. Now, next we have, that is the after DDL, we also have a next command, that is the first we see how to create a table. So अभी देखेंगे कि हम table कैसे create कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. So obviously to create a table we must have to mention the type of data. So which type of a data we are going to add in that table, we have to mention over there. Then we also have to mention the name of the table. So here we are mentioning the name of the table. For example, like here, what is the syntax? Create table. Okay, and then table name. Okay, after that, we also have to mention the columns, like which columns we are going to add and what will be the size of that particular column. Okay, so for example, we can say that here we are going to create a table by using query create table, name of the table, and then we have to mention the column like field one, its data type, and then its size. Just a minute. Sorry for the disturbance. So yes. So here what we have done, first of all, we are creating a table with the create table query. Then we must have to mention the name of the table. After that, we have to mention its column, then its data type and its size. Okay. In a one table we can add multiple columns, so it will be depend on you कि how many columns you have to add in that particular table. Okay, आप कितने भी column add कर सकते हो. But there is a one thing, it's a structural data type and this is the relational data type. So अगर वहाँ पे आपने table create करते टाइम उसमें 5 columns add किए हैं, then data insert करते टाइम भी आपको 5 data add करना जरूरी है. Okay, you must have to add the 5 elements or that particular entry. Okay, then after that, next, otherwise if you don't want to put any particular thing, you at least must have to mention null over there. So, which are the different types available in the SQL are? So, for example, we have an integer. So, if you want to store any kind of a numbers, then you can use integer. You can also use a floating point. For example, if you want to store a salary, then you can use this particular floating point. Then we also have a character types like a fixed length, varying type length, like varchar, char. Okay, most of the time we are using varchar for storing the character data. Then we also have a bit string types like a fixed length and varying length. Okay, so it's a bit string type. Okay, then we also have a data type for storing the date and time. Okay, like date time with the timestamp, then time with the time zone and interval like this. Okay, we also calculate the interval. For example, we have a two dates, we have a joining date, we have a particular current date. So we want to find how many days, for how many days we have work in that company. So we can also do that by using an interval. Next, we have a large data types like a long char, C log, B log. B log is binary log. Okay. So then C log is a character log. Okay. Log stands for large object. Okay. So we can also represent this large object by using the command or this particular data types. Next, we are going to see the query for alter table. So, alter table when we are using, if we want to perform any kind of a changes, then we must have to use the alter query. So, to add or drop column on an existing table, we can see like that alter table statement syntax. Like here we can see alter table table name, add पर्टिकुलर अल्टरनेशन या फिर जो भी हमें अल्टरन में ऐड करना है वो एंड उसका डेटा टाइप. ओके, वी कैन आल्सो ड्रॉप कॉलम बाय यूजिंग ड्रॉप कॉलम कॉलम नेम. Okay, so here attr is the new column whose data type we must have to mention at the time of adding. Same like that, drop column में हमें column name mention करना है, कौन सा column हमें drop करना है. So how we can drop the table? So here, so there are two options for dropping the table. देखो, cascade and restrict. Okay, cascade means what? It specifies that foreign key constraint violation that are caused by dropping the table will causes the corresponding rows of the related table to be deleted. Cascade मतलब क्या होता है? कभी कभी हम relationship create करते हैं दो टेबल में. अगर दो टेबल में रिलेशनशिप है एंड देयर इज अ रिलेशनशिप ऑफ अ प्राइमरी एंड फॉरेन की, मींस एक टेबल का कॉलम दूसरे टेबल में हमने यूज किया है, तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि डिलीशन के टाइम पे वहां पे कुछ रेस्ट्रिक्शंस अप्लाई होते हैं. सो अगर आप वो रिलेशनशिप वाला डेटा रिमूव करते हो तो अनदर टेबल से भी वो ऑटोमेटिकली क्या होता है, रिमूव होता है. Restrict means what? कि it blocks the deletion of the table of any foreign key constraint violation would be created. Okay, so cascade में वो delete हो सकता है, लेकिन restrict में अगर relationship वाला data हम delete करना start करते हैं, then it will oppose this thing. Okay, it will not allow you to delete that particular data. So how you can drop the table? So drop table name. एक बार आपने table drop किया, then you cannot recover it. Okay, it will be permanently deleted. For example, we can see this example like here is a we have a particular data as food code where we have a three columns: date, food and profit. So how to create a particular table? So the query is that create table name. So my table name is what? It's a food cart. So we can say like that, create table food cart. In this food cart we are going to add a column date, then we are going to add a particular data type, that is the varchar. So in a form of characters we are going to add the data, and its sizes we have mentioned 10. Same like that we have also mentioned the particular thing, that is the column food. In a food we are mentioning the varchar is the data type and its size is 20. Same like that we are also mentioning the next column, that is the profit, with the data type as a float. In a alter table, what we can do, alter table name, and if you want to add a new column, then we can add sold int. Okay, so it's what we are adding a new column whose name is sold and its data type is integer. We can also drop a column by using a alter table. So how? Alter table food cart, and here we have to drop column, name of the column is your profit, so profit column will get deleted. We can also drop a table by using a query, that is drop table name. So the table name is what? It's a food cart. So this is how we can perform the queries. Now next we have, that is the DML command. So DML, inside this or under this particular DML, what comes? Insert, update and delete. So if we want to insert a new row, insert a new data into the table, we can use the insert query. If we want to modify any particular attribute, like किसी particular column का कुछ data हमें एक particularly update करना है, then you can use this update query. And delete means what? It will delete one or more rows from the table. अगर आपको particular कोई field delete करना है, अगर आपको कोई particular row delete करनी है, then you can use this particular delete query. After this particular thing, we see one by one the query or what is the syntax for this. So for inserting a row, we can use the syntax, that is insert statement. Syntax will be insert into table name and values we have to mention. The sequence of the column and the sequence of the insertion of this value must be same. Okay, otherwise it will not add that particular value, और वो जो रो है वो insert नहीं होगा. So like we can see like that, insert into food cart, values will be 2, 26, 8, and its value will be like pizza, and third one will be the 70. Okay, so it's like a date, food and price. Okay, or we can say sold. Okay, so like this हम यहाँ पे data insert कर सकते हैं. Like insert, we can also perform the thing, that is the update. Okay, जैसे हम data insert कर सकते हैं, वैसे हम data update भी कर सकते हैं. So how we can perform the update thing? So update statement will be like update table name, set alter equal to new value, where selection criteria. For example, if we want to update like update food cart, we have to set sold value equal to 349. हमें sold की value क्या करनी है? 349. Where condition क्या है? किसकी sold value update करनी है? Whose date is 225/8 and whose food value is pizza. Okay, वो value हम क्या करेंगे? Update करेंगे. Then next we have, that is the delete. Okay, so if you want to delete any particular data or any particular element, we can delete it by using a delete query. For example, delete from food cart where food equal to hot dog. Okay, so हम क्या करें? Food cart इस table से फूड डिलीट करें और जिसकी फूड की वैल्यू है हॉट डॉग, तो वो पूरी रो जो है वो क्या होने वाली है? डिलीट होने वाली है. इट विल डिलीट दैट होल रो. Next we have, that is the select statement. So select statement means what? So if you want to retrieve any particular data, if you want to select any particular data from the table, we can use this select statement. And here we are using the format like select attribute name from table name where condition. Okay, so select, it specifies the attribute that will be the part of resulting relation from, where it specifies the table that serves as an input to the statement, and where will be the condition कि जिस condition पे based हम यहाँ पे data select करेंगे. For example, select star from where. Okay, so here we can use this particular example, like if I want to get the particular value whose age is greater than 30, so how I can fire the query? Select star. Star means what? All that particular data which are matching this condition. So select star from person where age is greater than 30. Okay, so we have to select all the elements from this person table whose age is greater than 30, जिनकी एज 30 से greater है उनकी वैल्यू हमें सिलेक्ट करनी है. Then we have here like select weight from person where age is greater than 30. So how we can write? Select weight, we have to select the weight column from which table? Person table. And condition क्या है? जिनकी age है greater than 30. Then we have to particular add the particular thing who's distinct of a weight. Okay, so here select distinct. Distinct means different weight from the person where age is 30. So जिनका एज 30 है, ग्रेटर देन 30 है, और जिनके वेट अलग अलग है, इट शुड नॉट बी सेम. डिस्टिंक्ट मीन्स डिफरेंट, दैट वेट वी हैव टू सिलेक्ट. सो हियर we have the three values for the particular age greater than 30, and among this 80 is repeated, so that's why it will only select only one 80 and then 54. Okay, so these are some basic query that we can perform on your data. Okay, ऐसे हम data पे क्या कर सकते हैं? ये basic query जो है वो हम perform कर सकते हैं. And along with this we also have the another operations like projection, insertion. After that we also have a applying restrictions to that particular data. So ये सब चीजें जो है वह SQL में देखने वाले आगे. Getting? Okay, so this is the basic things that we are going to cover in the particular topics like DSA and SQL, and these are very important topics as a part of the project, because these topics will mainly concentrate on your data, and data is very important part of your particular project. Okay, so this is what we have seen today. So now next things will be given by the Sumit sir.
Okay, so did you understand the things? हाँ, समझ में आ रहा है, नहीं आ रहा है, ठीक है? So actually, due to technical issue, we have started a little bit late, right? But we have a time constraint, so that's why we are initially started with this, ठीक है? So कल का सेशन जो रहेगा वो और भी टेक्निकली डीप रहेगा, so be available. And with that, अभी हम क्या कर रहे हैं? अभी हम थोड़ा सा देख रहे हैं कि what will be the like we have some students who are from different colleges, right? And they are expecting some idea about their, right? So here I am with, just a second. Yeah, so here I am with you all, right? And I would like to give you some idea about the career domains and what we can do, right? So जो भी मैं करना चाहूँगा फॉर माय करियर, सो आई नीड टू हैव अ टेक्निकल हैंड्स ऑन विद इट, राइट? अब ये टेक्निकल हैंड्स ऑन जो चाहिए वो अब मैं किस में करूँ, क्या करूँ, कैसे करूँ, राइट? हमें टेक्नोलॉजी तो थोड़ी बहुत ही पता है, राइट? उसमें जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्या होती है वो नहीं पता, उसके लिए क्या मुझे करना चाहिए वो भी नहीं पता, राइट? सो हियर आई एम विथ यू ऑल, सो आई विल गिव यू सम बेसिक आइडिया कि एटलीस्ट कि ये सब कैसे हम बेनिफिशियल करें या कैसे हम लोग इसको process, right? So as you all are already into the image means technical domain, right? आप लोग इंजीनियरिंग कर रहे हो, कुछ लोग डिप्लोमा कर रहे हैं, कुछ जो है कुछ ऑलरेडी रेडियन के साथ एसोसिएटेड है फॉर देयर फ्यूचर डेवलपमेंट, फ्यूचर ट्रेनिंग, राइट? एंड दे आर डूइंग देयर स्टफ, राइट? बट अब ये जो नए वाले बच्चे हैं इनको इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज में कौन सी है, राइट? और वो क्यों और कहाँ से स्टार्ट, तो कोविड 19 के हिसाब से हमसे स्टार्ट हुई थी, बिकॉज दैट टाइम वी वाज हैविंग अ कंसर्न अबाउट द कंपनी डेवलपमेंट, राइट? कि अभी ऐसा हो रहा है कि कोविड में ना मैं ठीक से काम कर पा रहा हूँ, ना मेरे एम्प्लॉयज काम कर पा रहे हैं, राइट? एंड मैं कुछ एग्जीक्यूशन ही प्रॉपर्ली नहीं कर पा रहा। तो मैंने क्या किया, और उसके साथ साथ मार्केट में मेरे क्लाइंट से या फिर जो कस्टमर्स है उनकी यहाँ से भी मुझे जो फंडिंग है या फिर जो बिजनेस रेवेन्यूज है वो आना कम हो गया, राइट। अब जैसे जैसे ये आना कम हो गया तो मैंने क्या किया, आई वॉज शिफ्टेड इनटू एन AIML। ठीक है, AIML में क्यों गया, क्योंकि अगर मैं AI यूज करता हूँ तो मुझे कम मिनिमम सोर्स यूज करके या रिसोर्स यूज करके उस प्रोजेक्ट को या उस टास्क को कंप्लीट कर सकता हूँ। ठीक है, बस मुझे क्या करना पड़ेगा, पहले उस मशीन को ट्रेन करना होगा, दैट इज एन मशीन लर्निंग प्रोसेस, एंड देन ही विल स्टार्ट एग्जीक्यूटिंग इन द फॉर्म ऑफ AI, राइट। सो इसीलिए मैंने क्या किया, पहले डेटा एनालाइज किया, नहीं, डेटा माइन किया कि कौन सा डेटा हमें चाहिए, राइट। सो डेटा माइन किया पहले, फिर उस डेटा को मैंने एनालाइज किया कि मुझे क्या क्या रिक्वायरमेंट है, डेटा सॉर्ट किया कि कौन सा डेटा मेरे लिए इंपॉर्टेंट है कौन सा नहीं है, राइट। और उसके बाद उस डेटा को लेकर मैंने मेरे मशीन को या मेरे रोबोट को वट एवर वी विल से कि मैंने उसको ट्रेन किया, दैट इज हियर आई हैव यूज एज एन मशीन लर्निंग। अब ये मशीन लर्निंग यूज करने के बाद जब वो मशीन है या जो वो भी रोबोट है वो ऑटोमेटिकली एग्जीक्यूट कर रहा है, दैट इज आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस, राइट। सो इसमें क्या हो गया, ही इज एग्जीक्यूटिंग द पार्ट और थिंग्स विदाउट एनी सपोर्ट और एटलीस्ट अंडर द provisional guidance, right? So it's obviously it's a machine, so we have to take care of that as well, राइट। बट अभी ये इसमें आप बोलोगे सर कि ठीक है इतना कुछ हो गया, बट हमें ग्रो करने के लिए क्या करना चाहिए, तो दोज आर सम ट्रेंडिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज विच यू कैन लर्न, लाइक एनालिटिक्स, बिग डेटा, IoT, राइट, नेटवर्क्स। तो अब एनालिटिक्स मतलब जैसे मैंने ऑलरेडी बोला, यू हैव टू एनालाइज द डेटा, एनालाइज एंड सॉर्टिंग, राइट, दैट इज अ डेटा माइनिंग प्रोसेस, राइट। देन द सेकेंड डोमेन इज बिग डेटा, राइट। बिग डेटा में क्या होगा, तो जो ह्यूज डेटा है, जो डेटा है विच इज ऑलरेडी इन ह्यूज कंटेंट और ह्यूज मेमोरी, जो भी हमारे पास है अवेलेबल, जैसे कि फेसबुक हो गया, फेसबुक का जो पेज है उसके फर्स्ट डे से लेकर आज तक का डेटा सारा वहां पर अवेलेबल है, राइट। तो वो जो डेटा है इट्स इन ह्यूज बेस्ड, राइट। सो वहां पर जो डेटा प्रोसेस होता है दैट कम्स इनटू एन बिग डेटा, राइट। देन IoT is nothing but internet of things, right? But actually it's a full form only. IoT matlab not as an internet of things, where we are using in software and hardware, right? Hardware and software we are connecting using an internet, that is nothing but IoT, okay? Then networks is nothing but you are networking, your connectivity, right? You are sharing a data, so वो जो पैकेट है, पैकेट डेटा पैकेट एक जगह से ट्रांसमिट होता है सेकंड जगह तक, और वो प्रॉपर्ली वहां तक रीच आउट हो जाता है, राइट। तो नेटवर्क्स में भी हमें बेनिफिशियल है कि जो भी नेटवर्किंग मतलब जो भी कम्युनिकेशन होता है दैट गोज और कम्युनिकेट ट्रैवल थ्रू द नेटवर्क्स, इसीलिए नेटवर्किंग इज ऑल्सो एन डोमेन वेर यू कैन वर्क आउट। देन आर डिजिटल मार्केटिंग, सोशल मीडिया, राइट। इन डिजिटल मार्केटिंग यू कैन गो अहेड विद द जनरली जो सब कुछ कर रहे हैं दैट इज इन्फ्लुएंसर, right? Then you can go ahead with the digital marketing factors like SEO algorithms, or you can go ahead with the content writing, right? Even you can go ahead with the social media marketing, where you are creating a pages on different social media, right? Then web application is nothing but the application which runs on browser, any browser, like Chrome ho, then Firefox ho, right? Mozilla Firefox हो, Internet Explorer हो, any one, right? But before that one we missed, that is a face recognition, voice recognition, or machine learning, right? So that is also an one good example, like face recognition and voice recognition or fingerprint recognition is our mobile, right? हम लॉक कैसे ओपन करते हैं, using fingerprint, right? Some are having a facility of face recognition also, कि मुंह दिखाया लॉक बंद हो गया, right? So those are also there where we can work out, that is in machine learning process, ठीक है। then cloud computing, आजकल सारा डेटा जो है that is getting stored on cloud computing, right? Every data which is going to execute that is into a cloud computing, right? एंड क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग के साथ साथ मतलब जो डेटा है विच ऑन क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग यू हैव दैट बेनिफिट, लाइक in cloud computing, the data which you are accessing in anywhere from anywhere, right? So sorry, so you are accessing those data from anywhere of the world, that is nothing but the cloud computing, right? Then cyber security is a part जहाँ पर you are creating any application, any software, you go to a cyber security person or cyber developer that भाई मैंने ये सॉफ्टवेयर बनाया, हैक करके दिखा, राइट? अब ये तो हो ही नहीं सकता कि कैसे मैं करूं, राइट? अब कैसे करूं? तो ही इज गिविंग यू अ बेनिफिट इन द फॉर्म ऑफ सिक्योरिटी इन साइबर सिक्योरिटी. सो कोई भी डेटा हो, कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट हो, कोई भी टास्क हो, दैट इज ऑट ऑल गोइंग थ्रू अ साइबर सिक्योरिटी process, right? Then DevOps is also a part, right? In DevOps is also a part where you are giving a platform to that, to the your software, and you are delivering those project to the client side using a DevOps. Okay. Then robotic process automation, though we have already seen about the analysis, analytics, machine learning, AI, right? So robotic process automation is also one part where uh, we are focusing on robots or robot process in automation, right? Then design thinking and web application is nothing but in mixing process, right? Design thinking is nothing but a design, web designing. अब हुआ ऐसा है कि सिर्फ वेब डिजाइनिंग करूंगा तो दैट विल नॉट बी हेल्पफुल फॉर यू. सो वेबसाइट डिजाइनिंग प्लस वेबसाइट एप्लीकेशन और वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट, ये दोनों चीजें अभी फिलहाल आप सीखनी जरूरी, ठीक है? तो अब आप बोलोगे कि सर ठीक है, आपने हमें डोमेन्स तो बता दिए, बट इसका ये एग्जीक्यूशन कहाँ कहाँ होता है? दिस ऑल आर डोमेन विच आर डिवाइडेड इनटू दिस पार्ट्स, ठीक है? कि अगर यूजर टच पॉइंट है तो वेब एप्लीकेशन और मोबाइल एप्लीकेशन, राइट? जहाँ पर ये डेवलपमेंट यूज होता है. देन हार्डवेयर और इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर, मतलब आपके प्रोजेक्ट का इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर जो है दैट कम्स ऑन टर्न क्लाउड और डेवॉप्स, विच आई हैव ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू, राइट? कि डेवॉप्स में यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग द बेस एंड उसके ऊपर आप आपका सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट करते हो, सेम फॉर क्लाउड, right? Then server side or core side software, where the programming language which we have, that is Java, Python, .NET, any language, programming language जो आपके सॉफ्टवेयर डेवलपमेंट करने में हेल्पफुल होती है, दैट इट कम्स इनटू एन कोर सॉफ्टवेयर, ठीक है? देन इन डेटा प्रोसेसिंग, दैट इज अ बिग डेटा. बिग डेटा में डेटा प्रोसेस होता है, जो भी डेटा आपके पास है इन अ ह्यूज अमाउंट, राइट? छोटे होते तो वी कैन मैनेज इन आर एसक्यूएल डेटाबेस, थोड़े ज्यादा होंगे तो वी विल गो विद द सर्वर, राइट? एंड अहेड वी विल गो विद द बिग डेटा प्रोसेस, right? Then data analysis, mean that is data science, machine learning and AI, जिसमें data analytics, data analysis का part cover होता है. Then IoT, when you add on sensors in this in your software or to your process, that comes into an IoT, right? And इन सब को combine करने के बाद important जो है that is in cyber security, right? अब ये सारे डोमेन्स हमने समझ लिए कि कौन से डोमेन हैं, ये कहाँ कहाँ यूज होते हैं, बट व्हाट विल बी देन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर देम, राइट? सो ई फोकस्ड कि डोमेन है एनालिटिक्स, जहाँ पर डेटा साइंस, डेटा साइंटिस्ट का रोल होता है, वेयर यू आर लुकिंग फॉर एन कोर स्किल एज एन पाइथन एंड आर, ठीक है? पाइथन एंड आर ये मेरे को कोर स्किल में, मतलब मुझे इनिशियली सीखना है, एंड देन स्किल रिक्वायर फॉर दिस रोल आर लाइक डिफरेंट डिफरेंट स्किल सेट लाइक clustering, LDA, other stuff, right? Then in big data we have two positions. There are many, but initially two position, like you are start as a big data admin or big data developer, जिसके लिए कोर जो है आपका जावा और पाइथन है, ठीक है? Depends on you which you are comfortable for you, and then ahead you are going with the Hadoop process or map reducing, big hive, and other details which they are looking for, right? Then in DevOps, you are looking for a core skill, then Java, Python, shell scripting, right? Shell scripting के साथ साथ then what you will do, you will focus on Jenkins, Chef, Puppet, cloud computing services like AWS, Azure, GCP cloud, right? And stuff. Then we are going ahead with the other technologies, that is web application, in that we have a full stack development or mean stack development, right? So in full stack we are focusing on PHP or Java, JavaScript, right, with database. And in mean stack we are looking for Node.js, AngularJS, like MongoDB, those things. In web application we have a mean stack where core skill we are looking for JavaScript and advanced will be an AngularJS, right? Then RPA is nothing but robotic process automation, right? So in robotic process automation, we are focusing on Python, Java, JavaScript, .NET, and other advanced roles which we are looking for. That is RPA process, right? There are other tools, etc. Then in mobile application, we can, if it's an Android, then Go or Swift we are using. in iOS, right? And hybrid app developer where you are looking for JavaScript and as in Flutter as well. Okay. Then in IoT you are looking for in Python, Java, C, C++, .NET, right? Those will be our next four domains, and these are last two domains, that is cybersecurity and digital marketing, right? So in cybersecurity we are going ahead with the ethical hacking, security operations center, and bug bounty hunting, where your core skills will be in Python, JavaScript, Java.NET, associate tool script, Unix shell scripting, Python or Java, right? And then bounty hunting, where you are looking for Java, Python, .NET, JavaScript, PHP. And in digital marketing, you are going ahead with the SEO, email marketing, social media marketing, and etc. राइट? ओके, सो अब आपने अगर फोकस किया होगा कि हुआ क्या, ये सारे जो जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, ठीक है, इसको अगर मैं थोड़ा सा फोकस देखूं, सो those are given as an core skill, that is a Java Python, Java Python, Java Python. ठीक है, ये जो हमने फर्स्ट देखी. Then second one which we are looking for is nothing but this screen, right? Now for this screen, what we are doing, if we are focusing on core skill, so core skill as mentioned as an same. If you are focusing on it, then it will be an जावा एंड पाइथन. सो मुझे ये समझ में आ गया कि पाइथन और जावा इज मोर इम्पोर्टेंट. सो अगर इम्पोर्टेंट है तो सिर्फ जावा सीख के कुछ फायदा है क्या? तो बिल्कुल नहीं. सो व्हाट आई विल डू, जस्ट अ सेकेंड, व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल फोकस्ड ऑन फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट, राइट? फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट में क्यों करना है मुझे फोकस? Because I am giving a helping hands to our company by using our different फुल स्टैक बेनिफिट, लाइक मतलब बाय वन गेट वन, कि मुझे फ्रंट एंड भी आता है, मुझे बैक एंड भी आता है, राइट? एंड उसके साथ साथ आई कैन वर्क इन एनी डोमेन विच यू विल प्रेफर. तो अब अगर फुल स्टैक करना है या फुल स्टैक है तो उसके लिए व्हाट विल बी द जॉब रोल, व्हाट विल बी द जॉब अपॉर्चुनिटी, कि मैं क्यों करूँ फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट, राइट? सो हियर वी गो विद द अदर अपॉर्चुनिटीज फॉर फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट, राइट? तो अब ये फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट में क्या क्या रहेगा या क्या बेनिफिट रहेगा, व्हाट यू थिंक? सो फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट में होगा ये सब. इफ यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन फुल स्टैक, तो आपको फुल स्टैक में क्या क्या अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलती है? फ्रंट एंड और बैक एंड, राइट? और क्या रहेगा? full stack developer also, right? So if you are focusing on full stack, right, so in full stack you will get benefit as a फ्रंट एंड डेवलपर, बैक एंड डेवलपर, फुल स्टैक डेवलपर, मीन स्टैक, मर्ज स्टैक. तो अब अगर फ्रंट एंड में आप फोकस करोगे तो यू विल गेट एन HTML, CSS, जावास्क्रिप्ट, bootstrap, react, etc. in backend what you will focus on java frameworks, right? जैसे कि स्प्रिंग हो, हाइबरनेट हो, EJB हो, स्प्रिंग बूट हो, etc. जब इफ यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन एज एन फुल स्टैक डेवलपर, सो यू विल गेट अ बेनिफिट एज एन फ्रंट एंड एज वेल एज एन बैक एंड डेवलपर, राइट? तो आपको अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलेगी. इफ आई एम गेटिंग एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर फ्रंट एंड, देन फ्रंट एंड. इफ आई एम गेटिंग एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर बैक एंड, देन बैक एंड एज वेल, right? So I can work as an one buy one get one offer, राइट? सो अब ये बाय वन गेट वन ऑफर आप दे रहे हो तो उसके साथ साथ और भी तो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिलनी चाहिए मुझे. तो अब और भी अपॉर्चुनिटीज में क्या रहेगा? दैट इज यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन मीन स्टैक डेवलपर, यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन एज मर्ज स्टैक डेवलपर. अब मीन स्टैक और मर्ज स्टैक में फर्क क्या है? सिर्फ एक टेक्नोलॉजी का, ठीक है? मीन स्टैक इट मीन्स मोंगोडीबी, एक्सप्रेस जेएस, एंगुलर एंड नोड जेएस, ठीक है? एंड इफ यू आर फोकसिंग ऑन वन स्टैक, देन सेम MongoDB, Express.js, then React and Node.js. This is how you can focus on all the domain specifically for your future development, ठीक है? तो मुझे बेस तो करना है जावा, तो मैं सिर्फ जावा ही नहीं करूंगा, जावा के साथ साथ जो भी मुझे अर्ली अपॉर्चुनिटीज के लिए फायदा मिलेगा वो मैं सारा करूंगा. इसीलिए वी आर फोकसिंग ऑन जावा फुल स्टैक डेवलपमेंट. And after full stack completion, you can go ahead with any technology, any job role which has given here. Okay, you can go, if you have done with an React, then you can go as a one stack developer, front end developer, back end developer, right? Even full stack developer. Or if you have focused on mean stack, then you can go ahead with the one stack developer, mean stack developer, front end developer, back end developer, and as usual the full stack development. Okay, so this is why job full we are focusing on full stack initially, and then we will go ahead with our favorite different technologies which we are looking at trending, right? Which we have focused already in this trending technologies. So we have many trending technologies, but what happens, my first aim is I need a job. मुझे अगर जॉब चाहिए तो मुझे ये सीखना चाहिए जो बीइंग एज एन फ्रेशर्स लेवल पे जरूरी है। ठीक है, तो इसमें उन्होंने कोर में जो दिया था, कोर की जगह उन्होंने लिखा था यू कैन फोकस्ड ऑन कोर एज इन जावा और पाइथन. So in that way we are focusing on full stack development, and with full stack development we are going ahead. Okay, so this is it from my side. If you have any doubt you can ask. Okay, so if you have any doubts you can let me know, then I will solve your queries, and then we will wind up with the session and we will start tomorrow. Yeah, please. It's 2:46, right? It's 2:46. We will wait till 2:50, and we will wind up at 2:50. Yes, if you have any question, you can ask. Okay, okay. So you don't have any question. So I guess we should wind up here. Okay. So all the best, guys, and thank you so much for listening. Even we will have a workshop tomorrow as well. Okay, with another technology which we have shared already. So be on time tomorrow. Tomorrow there will not be any constraint about the technical issue, and we will sort it today itself. Okay. So thank you so much, and all the best.